I'm Melanie Mortimer. I'm the Executive Director of the SIFMA Foundation. I work here with a great team, all of whom are dedicated to helping young people become more financially literate. On behalf of the Foundation and all of our partners at Councils on Economic Education and others across the country, educational providers, I want to say thank you for the work that you do. We appreciate that you have invested in youth financial literacy. It's an area that obviously we care deeply about here at the SIFMA Foundation. We've been in operation for about 35 years administering the Stock Market Game program, the Invest Right program more recently, and the Capitol Hill Challenge program. We're a 501c3 educational nonprofit, and our mission is to bring financial educational opportunities to young people across the country so that they can have better lives and better futures. And we can't do that without your support and partnership. You're on the front lines every day trying to make a difference in the lives of young people, and we understand that doing so gets harder and harder every year as educational requirements on the federal level, on the state level, and even on the local district level become more and more defining and stringent. So for you to continue to find creative ways to enable your students to get the academic content that they need as well as develop life skills, in our view, is very admirable. We hope that the program serves you well in your classroom. We also hope that you'll let us know if there are things that we can do to make it better and easier for you to bring this content to students. So what we've done with the website this year is to take a look at how we can make your jobs easier. And part of that is to excite and engage students, because if they're engaged, then they tend to be more self-directed with learning. We've added to the website a significant amount of more dynamic technology and more dynamic screens and experiences for students, so they can see the rapid changing marketplace and witness how their portfolio and their allocations are shifting and changing within the context of world news, world issues, and financial matters. It is a dynamic economy. We want them to get that. We also know that it makes your lives easier if we can provide ways for you to bring the Common Core into your classroom. There are big expectations this year with the assessments at the end of the school year, waiting for us to look at how successful we've been in getting the Common Core across in many states, while some others have their own approach. But I would say that we know that it's important for us to look at ways that you can integrate some of the Common Core. So you'll see some of the mathematics integrated into new charts and graphs that Daria is going to talk to you about. You'll also see that there are opportunities for project-based learning activities, as well as English language arts related Common Core requirements, such as reading technical texts and others. We've tried to bring you closer to the real world, and that means two things: finding ways to integrate real-world news items onto the website, but also giving you opportunities to communicate with each other and see what other teachers are doing across the country, how successful they've been in their programs, and what things you might be able to do to enhance your existing efforts. We've also created a homepage that tells a little more of the story of who we are, and we hope that that will be useful to you as you as you look for ways to talk to your principals, talk to your leadership about why what you're doing with the Stock Market Game in your classroom is so critical, and the ways that you are helping to enhance not just your subject matter requirements, but also life skills of your students, 21st century skills, improvement on standardized math tests, and more. So with that, I will just again say thank you for your tremendous contribution to the work that we're doing, but mostly to the lives and futures of your students. We need young people to gain the skills and insights early on in life because we know that they are being challenged to make financial decisions at younger and younger ages. So thank you for all that you do. Please use us as a resource along with your local coordinators. Let us know how we can make your lives better. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Dario Stefisic now, who's going to walk you through the new website. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, Melanie, for the introduction. Welcome, everyone, to the Stock Market Game 2.0 website. We're really excited to share this with you after spending the last few months engaging with teachers who have taught the SMG in years past, as well as going into a number of classrooms to extract requirements that our most important users have. So we're really proud to say that we've been able to successfully meet or even exceed those requirements in this iteration of the Stock Market Game website. One of the major objectives for this new website was to create a site that was a destination page where all of our various users would look forward to visiting on a regular basis, perhaps even as frequently as several times a day. The new home page is now full of features that are topical, current, informative, and even entertaining. We believe that students and teachers will have an enhanced user experience where they will have easy access to what is currently happening in the major markets, as well as their SMG curriculum, portfolio pages, and trading screens. One area of the website that provides a consistent user experience for all SMG users is the login. In the new website, teachers, students, parents delivering the SMG in a homeschool environment, and even our state coordinators who deliver the SMG to schools will be able to log in from the same central location, which is located right here where my mouse is pointing. So it's a yellow font that opens up to a simple login form. You can also access a different version of the form by clicking on the yellow button. And what happens next is going to be completely different for each of our user groups. So specific to teachers, once teachers log in here successfully, they will be redirected to our Teacher Support Center. The Teacher Support Center is our repository of curricula that you will be able to take advantage of for teaching the SMG to your students. It has many lessons, activities, publications, and newsletters customized for grades 4 through 12. So you'll be able to access that as soon as you register. Students, however, will be taken directly to their portfolio pages. The portfolio pages will be the central location where students will be able to get a snapshot of their account holdings, how their portfolio has performed over time and versus major benchmarks. They will be able to submit trades of mutual funds, stocks, and bonds there, and conduct a lot of research as well to supplement their trading strategies. Before we go to those pages, I also want to point out that we have also consolidated the register link here on our home page. So no substantial changes to the registration process from years past. The registration process is however, very critical in kicking off your affiliation with our program. So first you have to stipulate your geographic location, beginning with the country, and then we have a drop-down list of the 50 states. Once you identify the state in which you teach, you will be associated with the state coordinator that delivers the Stock Market Game program on the STIFMA Foundation's behalf. So please take advantage of looking at the specific content that your state coordinator has made available on their pages. including any team fees and local rules that may apply to the use of the stock market game in your state. There will be a list of available dates that your state coordinator offers for participation, including many dates in the fall and spring semesters, as well as a year-long game or two that span both semesters. So lots of opportunities there for you to get involved. Following successful registration, your coordinator will send an email to you containing your Teacher Support Center ID and password, and then you'll, of course, be able to access that resource immediately. There will also be a subsequent email containing all of the IDs and passwords for all of your student teams that you have requested during this same registration process. So that's an overview of registration. Going back to the home page, I want to share what we've done here. This top section of the page is called a hero slider, where we've embedded a couple of images and short videos. This one in particular is a provocative one that we wanted students to take a look at and really challenge them in beginning to think what all they could do with $100,000. Albeit it's virtual money, it still represents a sizable sum, and I can guarantee you that a lot of teams sometimes forget that this is virtual money when they're caught up in the spirit of competition and research and honing their investing principles. So this video challenges them to think about all the things that they could do with $100,000, and we certainly want to promote the values of long-term investing through the stock market game. Working down towards the bottom of the home page, we have three sections here that highlight various news articles, beginning with a section called Program News. Here, this is SMG-specific news, where we're highlighting various achievements that some of our student teams have had across the country. Immediately to the right of Program News, we have a section called Market News. And as Melanie was telling you earlier, we really wanted to strive in connecting our students more directly with what is actually happening in the real world at any given point in time. What is happening in the real world will certainly influence their strategies for stock picking. So we wanted to make access to real-world articles as easy to them as possible. To the right of the Market News section, we have a widget called the Market Now, and this is a graphical display of what is actually happening in the real-world markets at this point in time. So we see that the NASDAQ composite is down 0.47%. The S&P 500 benchmark, which is the main benchmark that we use to determine our team rankings, is also down 0.32%. And then we round out the list with a number of foreign exchanges, including Japan's Nikkei and London's FTSE 100 exchange. Beneath that table, we have a line graph depicting NASDAQ's performance over time, and this can easily be changed by clicking on a link, and now we're looking at how NASDAQ has performed over the last 6 months. Below that, we've introduced a number of testimonials that are very candid and informative. So these are teachers who have taught the stock market game previously, and they're reporting to us about their great user experience and the fact that the stock market game is very user-friendly. There are no prerequisites of prior stock market trading experience or deep knowledge of the capital markets, or even having had an opportunity to teach economics or business finance to students previously. So the learning curve is very flat. Please rest assured that you'll be able to quickly understand how to use it to its full extent. And we've also supplemented the curricula of activities in our Teacher Support Center with many guides that will be hands-on and very practical to you in explaining exactly how to interpret portfolio pages and how to teach the stock market game effectively. But please do avail yourselves of these short testimonials from teachers. To the right, we've also included a few student testimonials where they're talking about the great experience they had in playing the stock market game, everything that they've learned through that initiative, and some are even boasting that they have gained superior financial literacy knowledge compared to their own parents. So you can probably expect that your students will learn a tremendous amount of information as well. So that rounds out the home page of our new website. We have also embedded some links to our expanding social media presence on the top right of the page. So realizing that a lot of our students have very active profiles in all these social media platforms, we also want to participate in that and be able to communicate with our students and teachers and other constituents. Between social media, a common login button, a single registration point, we've taken the deliberate decision to consolidate all this information on a single destination page where all of our users will be convening every day when they come to our stock market game site. I want to then point out our new navigation bar. So here we've customized a number of messages for our students, parents teaching the SMG in a homeschool environment, teachers, and finally after-school providers. We do have a parallel program for after-school educators. Students will see this when they link to that page, again anchored by a hero slider with a number of images communicating our values to students, followed by a welcome message, and then some frequently asked questions for students. Here I want to point out that since students are minors, they won't be able to register for the stock market game on their own. Rather, they'll have to reach out to a teacher, a parent, an after-school educator, or a principal, really an adult who will be supervising the SMG for them to complete the registration process. But what they can do is at least gather some basic information on how to register for the game and pass that on to a responsible adult. Then we also have a similar page for teachers that looks like this. And here we're also communicating some core values and being teacher-friendly, student-friendly, constantly looking at Common Core standards and how we can correlate to them. We do support project-based team-building activities. And third-party research has demonstrated that those students who have played the SMG are better prepared for career readiness and great futures in the job force world in comparison to those students who have not. So we're really proud of all those bits of empirical evidence. Then we have a welcome teachers and educators message below those images, followed by a number of frequently asked questions telling our teachers what they can do after they've registered, an overview of the Teacher Support Center, which again is the central repository of all of our curriculum, and a brief message about our correlation to Common Core standards, amongst other frequently asked questions. Then we have a resources link, and here we see a link to the Teacher Support Center where we'll go to in a few minutes. But I do want to highlight the links to our sister financial literacy programs that are both award-winning, and we certainly encourage all teachers to consider using these. InvestRight is here, linked from our homepage, as is the Capitol Hill Challenge. This program enables students across the country to participate in a national-based stock market game program and creates a relationship with them and their member of Congress. Winners of this game have an opportunity to go to Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., meet their member of Congress, and share in their achievement in participating in the stock market game. So between the 3 financial literacy programs, we're confident that you'll be able to have some great opportunities to foster financial literacy knowledge with your students. So that's a great overview of our homepage. I hope you like what we've done so far. Next, I want to give you an overview of our portfolio pages. So to do that, I'm going to be logging in as a student team, and we'll look at everything from the portfolio pages to how to place a trade and other resources. So in previous versions of the stock market game, a lot of this information that we're currently seeing on one page was distributed across several pages. So we wanted to make this a lot more user-friendly and approachable for our students. And so this is what we've come up with. Across the top of the page, we have high-level account information, identifying the team ID, as well as the account type. In this case, we have a real-time team that we're looking at. Real-time teams are able to get the current market price, if indeed the market is open when the trade is placed, and they will be able to trade on accounts in real time. The other type of account that we offer is called end of day, and the distinction here compared to real time is that end of day accounts will receive end of market pricing. And all trades placed after hours, including weekend hours and holidays, will also receive the next market day's end of market hour, the next market day's end of market price. This particular configuration is determined by your state coordinator, so you'll probably be able to get some more information when you go through the registration process, and you'll certainly have an opportunity to reach out to your coordinator when you see the coordinator's contact information displayed on the registration pages. Beneath the account info summary, we have our account summary table, where we have a number of data points giving students an idea of their cash balance, the distribution of their portfolio across stocks, mutual funds, treasury, municipal, and corporate bonds, followed by a number of other data points that are very relevant to them. We've also implemented some tooltips that can be accessed simply by clicking on these links. And if I wanted to, in this case, get some more information about what percent return means, the tooltip would tell me it is the realized gains or losses as a percent of the initial $100,000. There's more information available, though, simply by clicking on the Read More link. That opens directly to the help page and to the section that we are researching. So as you can see here on my screen, we're looking at percent return, which is right here. It also gives students an example of how to calculate net equity gain. So please take advantage of this in challenging your students to understand the underlying calculations in all of the account summary data. I just want to page up and give you an overview of the remaining parts of the account summary help page. So what we've done is embedded a hypothetical account summary table here, and then this is linked to several data points. If I wanted to research cash balance, I would just click on the number, and that would take me to the cash balance section of the help menu, where they would get a comprehensive overview of how cash balance is calculated. So closing out that help menu and the tooltip menu, I want to go to team rankings here. We wanted to make this prominently featured on our new portfolio pages because often teams are caught up in the competitive spirit of the stock market game and want to see how they're doing. So here we are with our display of state rankings. We've consolidated and limited the number of rows to display to 10 to make it more user-friendly. So we're looking for our team, which will be highlighted in blue. And there it is in position 33 of 36 with a total equity value of $94,950. And that's an overview of the rankings table. We have also embedded several news feeds linking to third-party sites where, again, students could continue their research of the real-world markets and take that information back to their stock market game, stock picking strategies. Below all that, we have some really exciting new graphical representations of each account. So this is a value chart that's displayed as a bar chart. So we can see the change in this portfolio's total equity position over time. We can adjust that to view from 1 week through to 1 month at the click of a button. The next chart is called an asset allocation chart, and here we have we're looking at this week's distribution of cash across our major asset categories of stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and cash. So at the beginning of the week, this team had all of its account holdings in cash, and then it looks like some trades were placed, and cash is still the major position, but there are about $17,000 in stocks and the balance in mutual funds and cash. Mutual funds and bonds. Furthest to the right, we have a line graph demonstrating this account's performance against our major benchmark, the S&P 500. The inclusion of charts and graphs in the team portfolios provides students with the chance to practice explaining the correspondences between equations, verbal descriptions, tables and graphs, or draw diagrams of important features and relationships, graph data, and search for regularity or trends. This is the first math practice standard in the Common Core. It also helps them practice mapping and identifying relationships using graphs. So what we wanted to achieve with the introduction of graphs is a way to complement the tables that are presented throughout the other portfolio pages, and where students will be able to calculate the underlying values for all those data points. But here we have a graphical representation of a lot of those other data points. So we're confident that this will round out and their SMG user experience and maintain our compliance with the Common Core standards. Below that is something we're calling a ticker lookup window, where students will be able to research stocks. So if I wanted to look into a company called International Business Machines and I wasn't sure what the ticker symbol for that particular company was, I could just simply begin by entering the first few letters of that company, and then scroll down the list and find that International Business Machines is indeed IBM. By clicking on the link, I have a graphical display of IBM's stock trajectory over time. And this can also be easily adjusted to display how IBM stock has done over a 1-month period or year to date. There are a lot of other features in this very sophisticated but easy to use ticker lookup symbol. So if I wanted to compare IBM with the Dow and NASDAQ, I could just simply select those criteria from the drop-down list, and we see a presentation of all those parameters that were just passed. We've also embedded a trade button here that will immediately take students to the trading screens, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. But before we go there, I just wanted to mention that we've also pulled in the same major index watch list widget that we saw on our SMG homepage, so that students could have easy access to what's going on in the major markets. Paging up, we have another page called the Account Holdings underneath the Portfolio drop-down menu. And here we have a pie chart graphically displaying how this student team has allocated their portfolio across cash holdings, stocks and mutual funds in blue, and finally bonds representing about 7% of the portfolio are displayed in green. Below that we have a tabular representation of this account with various bonds, including this one that I'm pointing to here, that are in the portfolio, followed by a number of different stocks, and I believe we have some mutual funds as well. All of this information can be easily sorted by simply clicking on the column. So if I wanted to sort this table by short positions, I could simply click on the position column, and there you have it. We have CRM leading the list of short. It's a short list, actually. So if I wanted to sort this data based on trade date, I could do so easily by clicking this button, and then we see the data being displayed in chronological order. If I wanted to trade any of these stocks, I could do so easily by scrolling to the right. There's a trade button here. So if I wanted to trade on the stock that I just highlighted, which was CRM, I could do so at the click of a few buttons. It's already automatically populated. So if I wanted to say buy CRM today at a market price, we offer market or limit orders, but I'm going to select market for purposes of simplicity. Our minimum share is 100 for buys. Then we click preview trade. For security purposes, we ask students to confirm all the data that they have previously entered and resubmit their password. Prior to the trade being sent off for execution. And then they receive a trade order confirm message, and if they're fast, they can probably catch up with the trade in our pending orders section. I say fast because this is a real-time team, and trades are now flying through the system since the market is open for trading. But here we do have a confirmation that the SMG did acknowledge this trade. It's valued at 100 shares at the current market price. Here's a timestamp of when the trade was executed and a confirmation that the order was received. Going back to the trade screen, we demonstrated how stocks can be traded. Mutual funds, the trading screen looks like this. Unlike stocks, which can be sold short, mutual funds can only be bought or sold. So if I wanted to search for a mutual fund and didn't know its ticker, but I knew that it was in the Vanguard family of funds, I could just enter the first few letters for Vanguard, click on Search by Mutual Fund Description link, and that would return all of the available mutual funds that begin with the letters, or actually all of the mutual fund descriptions that begin with the letters VANG. Those are the few letters that I entered in as part of the search criteria. So we have an extensive list of mutual funds to choose from with their respective closing price. Incidentally, all of these are investment grade mutual funds or higher. So if I liked the Vanguard Specialized Fund, I could just simply click on its ticker. It would automatically populate in the screen there. And I want to trade, again, 100 shares of this fund, which is our minimum. It's going to be a market order. So in this case, it's going to be executed at the end of the day. Mutual fund and bond pricing is provided at the end of each day. And again, for security purposes, we're asking students to confirm their password. And we have a confirmation, which can probably be confirmed again in our pending orders table. Here again is the mutual fund order that we just placed and the previous buy order for CRM or Salesforce. Lastly, I want to demonstrate our bond trading screen. The process begins by selecting the bond symbol link, which will take students to this page. We offer corporate, municipal, and government bonds. So why don't we search for a municipal bond. I live in the state of New York, so I'm interested in what's available here. By expanding this list, we see all of the available mutual funds in New York, and there are 18 pages of such funds. So just want to provide an overview of all the data points that we have here, including coupon rate, the S&P rating, as well as the Moody rating. As you can see, these are all investment-grade quality bonds. We don't have any junk or any bonds that are likely to default. So we do encourage students to take advantage of these very reliable fixed income securities to round out their portfolios and practice best practices of risk management. So if I wanted to trade on this particular bond, it would automatically populate the QSIP or identifier there. We have a requirement that all bonds must be traded in $1,000 increments. So I'm going to buy $2,000 of this bond. And again, all the information above needs to be confirmed, which I'm doing so, and entering my password, clicking on the Confirm Bond Trade link, and we have trade confirmation. We also have some new and exciting features that we've added. This is our top holdings page, which demonstrates the top SMG holdings of all active national portfolios at this point in time. So students, again, are very competitive, as we've seen, and here we're giving them an opportunity to take a peek of what their student peers are trading across the country. So as we can see, Apple, followed by Netflix, Nike, and Amazon are hot stocks today. They have the following values. I can easily change the parameters here and search on share volume. And by clicking the search button, we see that SNE, Microsoft, Nike, and Nokia are leading the pack by share volume. So this is called top holdings. Then we have a few other pages that I want to demonstrate. This is called transaction history, which gives students an archive log of all transactions they have placed. They can dynamically adjust the presentation in the table by picking different begin and end dates for this table. Clicking on the search button, and it'll dynamically update based on the search dates that they have selected. So that completes an overview of the trading screens. We also have links here to our rules of the game, so please encourage your students to have a look at the rules. They're very important, and they should be aware that there are some restrictions to trading, and we also are striving to come up with some rules that are consistent with real-world market rules. So please take a look at these rules. We have a link to some outside third-party news agencies, which students can take advantage of to complement their research. Glossary of financial terms, and the change password form that enables them to change their portfolio password. So now I'm going to log out and log into the Teacher Support Center as a teacher. So again, this ID and password will be provided to you upon registration. The Teacher Support Center looks like this. Here we have top part of the page with our Heroes slider set of images, giving you some ideas of our core values. Immediately followed by 3 sections that will help you get started, leverage our existing curricula of activities, and then finally actively manage your student portfolios once the teams are trading. So why don't we begin with the Get Started section. Here we have a link to our Teacher's Guide, which is a great hands-on document that will give you a really good overview of the stock market game and how to teach it effectively. So please take advantage of this resource. Going back to the main page for the Teacher Support Center, we also have an after-school guide for all after-school educators, followed by an Understanding Portfolios set of reference guides. Here, by linking to these, you'll be able to be taken to a presentation that gives you some insight into what your student teams will be seeing. So these are screenshots of the actual portfolio pages with definitions of the data that's being presented therein. So please take advantage of this to prepare for any student questions that may come in their use of the portfolio pages. Closing that out and going back to the Teacher Support Center, we've also embedded a link to our rules of the game, same page that the students see, but we wanted to make that readily available to teachers. Related links is, again, the same page that we just demonstrated in the portfolio pages, linking to trusted third-party research sites. Then, as part of our redesign of the Teacher Support Center, we realized that there was a wealth of information already available to teachers. So we wanted to preserve that through these search engines. So by clicking on this, this will open up to a lessons and activities search engine. And here you can browse by selecting from a long list of topics based on your needs. So if I wanted to search on the Before You Invest topic, and I'm an elementary school teacher at an apprentice mastery level teaching economics, and I want something on company information. By clicking Display Report, it'll return the core lesson for what is a company. And again, this is customized for the elementary school level. This is a PDF document that can easily be sent to a printer if you need to present your principal with a lesson plan. So a hard copy can be easily created from this. But this is a detailed lesson plan for what is a company. And again, this will be easily accessible to you as soon as you register in the stock market game. We have other similar search engines in the classroom section as well that are similarly designed to the one that I just demonstrated. Finally, Manage Student Portfolios is where you will want to go to interact with your students when they're trading stocks. Click on the View Rankings and Portfolios link, and that will take you to a menu where all of your student teams will be displayed, including the capability to assign a team a nickname. You'll see rankings displayed, total equity, and their password. These teams are not live or active yet, so that's why none of this information is populated. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just showing you that the link is working, and so now we have access to the actual student team's portfolio pages. So here you'll be able to see at a click of a button what they are trading and how they are honing their trading strategies. Going back to the Teacher Support Center, we just have a few other pages here. We're enabling you to change your password for the Teacher Support Center here. There's a troubleshooting guide that gives a brief overview of basic technical issues that you may experience on occasion. A help desk form that enables you to submit any technical issues to your state coordinator for troubleshooting. And finally, a participation certificate link where you will be able to recognize the achievement of any of your students simply by entering your information here and the student's information and sending this to a printer. So please do recognize your students' achievements with these participation certificates. So that completes an overview of our homepage with our login button, registration, portfolio pages, and Teacher Support Center. Last but not least, we want to also give you a demonstration of our new mobile apps. So we've introduced mobile apps for smartphones that are on the Apple operating system as well as Google Android phones. Not all of the functionality that you have on the Stock Market Game desktop version is available here because we realize that not all students have access to smartphones. So let's just demonstrate to you very quickly what we have made available. So this is what the Stock Market Game icon looks like on an Apple phone. By launching it, students will be asked to log in, and then following the login page, they'll be presented with an overview of their portfolio with various data points including cash balance, total equity, the trade or the game type, in this case it's end of day, and other data points including percent return. We all have a log out button that securely enables students to log out from any page in the mobile app. If they wanted to enter a trade, they could go to our stock, mutual fund, or bond trading screens. The stock trading screen looks like this, where they'll be able to exercise 4 different trade types, select a market limit order, dynamically look up our available universe of stocks in the stock market game, identify the number of shares that they want to trade, and if it's a limit order, they'll have to specify the limit price that they want to achieve prior to trade execution. The mutual fund trading screen looks like this, where they'll be able to buy and sell various funds that we have available. Finally, the bond trading screen is similar to the mutual fund screen. Here they'll be able to select bond symbols, and similar to the demonstration on the portfolio pages, this will expand to a window where they'll be able to look up municipal, corporate, and government bonds for trading. By clicking on the Transactions button on the bottom, they'll be taken to this page where they will be able to look at transaction notes and pending orders. Transaction notes displays recent trades. Those in black are trades that were successfully executed. Those in red were not executed. If they wanted more information, they could simply click on any of these rows, and a pop-up window would display more detail about this particular trade, including the time in which the trade was submitted, the status of the trade, share values, ticker, and so on. The pending orders screen looks like this, where it just simply summarizes the trade. So again, students will want to get confirmation that the trade was accepted by the SMG. And finally, we have also embedded real-world market news link called Latest News to the mobile apps, where students can also get ready access to what's happening at any given point in the real-world marketplace. So that concludes our demonstration. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. We certainly are looking forward with great excitement to delivering this new version of the stock market game to you and your students this upcoming 2013-2014 school year. So at this time, I'd like to thank you for your participation, and please let us know if you have any questions.